Hello viewers, welcome to this session. In this particular session, you're going to learn about the paint drying process, classification of a paint drying form, solvent evaporation drying, reaction drying. In the reaction drying itself, there are three different types of drying process. That is oxidative polymerization drying, heat polymerization drying, and two component polymerization drying. At last, there will be MCQ based on the topic which we are going to learn in this particular video. So let's start with the classification of the paint drying form. So there are different types of classification in paint drying form. The first one is solvent evaporation drying. The second one is reaction drying. So in the reaction drying, there are three separate methods. The first one is oxidative polymerization drying, heat polymerization drying, and two component polymerization drying. We are going to discuss each of these in detail in this upcoming slides. So in solvent evaporation drying means with this form, the paint drying is occurs simply by evaporation of the solvent. So there is no change in the resin. Just simply you coat a paint on a vehicle and then let it dry. So because there is no binding of the resin molecules and no formation of the meshwork, the finished paint film can easily removed with the thinner. This is the drawback of this type of solvent evaporation. This is if you just go through the reaction drying, the first type of reaction drying is oxidative polymerization drying. So in this drying process, the resin is going to absorb the oxygen from the air, which causes the oxidation and the polymerization, which results in formation of a meshwork. So whatever with the formatted meshwork, the course is a course. So the performance of this paint film is not that much good. This is the major drawback of oxidative polymerization drying. And also it requires considerable time for drying. For this reason, since it require more time for drying, for this reason, this is used for automobiles, but rarely used for automobiles, but widely used these kind of techniques for buildings and bridges. Then the second type of reaction drying is heat polymerization drying. So in this type, this form is heated to a certain temperature. Because of it has been heated to a certain temperature, there will be a reaction takes place in the resin, which is going to form a meshwork. The meshwork is the large and dense, so the performance of the finished paint coating is very good when you compare it with the oxygenated, and the thinner or a solvent will not able to dissolve with this kind of the paint if you use the method paint drying method called heat polymerization drying method. Then the thinner or solvent will not dissolve. So with the use of catalyzers, it is possible to lower the heat hardening temperature at about 100 to 100 degrees Celsius. The last type of reaction drying is two component polymerization drying. So in this drying process, this form by mixing of a main agent and the hardening agent. Because of these two, there will be a reaction takes place, which results in the formation of the meshwork in the paint. This reaction takes place at room temperature, but if you want, we can able to speed up or increase the temperature to improve or speed up the meshwork. If you would like to get the better efficiency from this type of paint drying process, a forced drying is normally performed at 40 to 80 degrees Celsius. If you perform the drying process in this, the 40 to 80 degrees Celsius, definitely we can able to get better efficiency out of this type of paint drying process. So regarding the MCQ on this particular topics, the first question is, in dash, drying occurs simply by the evaporation of the solvent, so there is no change in the resin. So in this question you need to identify the type of drying method which occurs by simply the evaporation of the solvent. So the options are, the first one is reaction drying, second one is heat polymerization drying, third one is solvent evaporation drying, fourth one is two component polymerization drying. So out of which the correct answer is the option 3, solvent evaporation drying, because in this type the drying occurs simply by evaporation of the solvent. It doesn't require any kind of the heat. The second question is, dash belongs to the reaction drying. So you need to identify the type of drying which belongs to the category of reaction drying. The options are, the first one is oxidative polymerization drying, second one is heat polymerization drying, third one is two component polymerization drying, fourth one is all the above. So in this particular video you already learned that the reaction drying method contains three type of drying process. Those are oxidative polymerization, heat polymerization, two component polymerization. So the answer for this question is option 4, all the above. The third question is, because there is no binding of the resin molecules and no formation of the framework meshwork, the finished paint film can be removed with the thinner. We need to identify whether the above statement is true or false. Yes, of course, in the previous the slides we had learned that it has been explained, like, because if there is no binding of the resin molecules and no formation of the meshwork, then definitely finished paint film can be easily removed by using the thinner. So the answer for this question is option A, true. That's all from this video. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.